Good morning to you. Just about 9:21, and I got a couple of new pictures that have just come in. Anchor Katie Killen sent in this photograph. This is her doormat, completely encased in ice, completely encased. And those are thick. I think I have seen those before with the rubbery mat there. It's completely encased in ice there. And then we have another image here from Bill Evans, photojournalist out there. He is basically staged at Hendersonville Road and Long Shoals, and that is his viewpoint of the street. We have seen plows going through that intersection. You want to stay out of the way of plows today for sure. And this is Brevard. You can see icicles forming on the camera there. Certainly a wintry scene in parts of the area. Not everybody is seeing this. Let me show you Silva. Silva has had temperatures climb well above the freezing mark. At about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., the temperature there was 34. Temperatures are approaching 40 degrees in Silva. So this has been mainly rain. And in parts of the area, especially west of Asheville and north, we have not accumulated much ice. And that's actually a good thing. We don't want to see ice across the area because it's the most damaging form of wintry precipitation. It's 39 in Silva, 36 in Bryson City, 42. This warm air to the west is going to try and scour out the colder air across the I-26 corridor. It's 27 in Asheville, 26 at the airport, 28 in Marshall, low 20s in the foothills, low 20s in the upstate. What we have is a very thin layer of pretty cold air at the surface. And that gives us these two precipitation types. To get snow, you need a big cold air mass between the cloud and the ground, and we do not have that. We have a shallow layer here, which means we have liquid rain falling, and it either freezes on contact with items at the surface like power lines, trees, or cars, or it falls through this cold layer and refreezes or freezes from a liquid raindrop to an ice pellet. So those are the two precipitation types that we've been seeing so far. And for a good chunk of the morning into the early afternoon, we will continue to see freezing rain. And the longer we see freezing rain in some areas, the higher the ice totals will be, the heavier the ice will become. This is why we have such a shallow cold layer. The Arctic air is wedged up against the mountains. It is almost 40 degrees on Mount Mitchell, and it's in the mid-20s in Asheville. So we have very cold air here at the surface. We will continue to see a lot of pink, that freezing rain there. We may see a bit of a lull in the precip, but there is more coming later today. So notice here out the west where we've got rain showing up on the radar. That's Silva, that's Cullowhee. We've seen some rain there north up into Tennessee and west, but there's lots of pink. The purples that we're seeing here, we are still seeing some sleet, but we will eventually see that change over to all freezing rain. This will change over to all freezing rain as that warm air slowly works its way to the west. Here in Asheville, we're going to stair step up above freezing there, but it won't be till this afternoon. And that's when the precip is actually moving out. So take a look here at how long this lasts. We're going into early afternoon, a good half of the area still in freezing rain. You can see some of the heavier waves of precip coming through. Here's the back end of the precip as we get into this evening, and we'll see that moving out pretty quickly tonight. And then we see dangerous cold back behind it. So the ice totals will certainly be much lower. In fact, we won't see any ice at all west of Asheville and some of those places that I just mentioned, but we will see plenty of ice in other spots, especially in Henderson County, Transylvania County, into the foothills, Polk, Rutherford County, back into northwestern portions of the upstate. And here's what the weight of that ice can do. When you have 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch, you can start to see power lines come down. It gets too heavy. When you get over 1/2 inch, and we may see a few spots get there, then you can talk about major tree damage or widespread and long-range power outages. So while some people are not seeing all of this morning, others are. It's best to just stay home and let the emergency workers do their job, the road crews do their job. We will be cold in the 20s tomorrow and then single digits behind this on Tuesday morning.